Welcome to the live broadcast of Commencement for the Walton High School Class of 2026. I'm Layla Varghese.
And I'm Brody Alterman. We are honored that you are able to share in this special day with our graduates. The processional will begin in just a few moments.
We hope you enjoy the show.
broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Evan Cambies, and welcome to your 2026 Walton High School graduation. It takes a village to get students to this point. As a representative of the student body, I want to take a short time to recognize that village and thank the people some of us students may have forgotten to thank ourselves. To start, thank you parents, guardians, and everyone celebrating the achievement of your student. The sacrifices you make in your own lives, while maybe not always appreciated verbally, are not unnoticed by us. We understand we would not be here without the emotional and financial support you provide. To the administrators, the work you put in every day is the keystone that keeps Walton a top high school in Georgia. Your department operates with a level of presence and personability that I have seen at no other school. You're always the first to respond and first to resolve any issue, which in our 4 years has happened a confusing amount for East Cobb. There is no principal appreciation week, and most of us usually just avoided you guys in the hallways out of fear of getting in trouble. But now that we are no longer under your jurisdiction, thank you. To the custodians, who are most likely not here, unfortunately, but hopefully someone is of the right audience to hear this message. We are so sorry, and we hope you can forgive us. We've all seen the hygienic horrors around school. The piles of crumbs on the floor, the overflowing trash cans, the mysterious lunch table substances, the clogged sinks, the missed urinals, and the other barbaric bathroom behavior. Most of the time, these messes were simply revolting. Yet every morning, without fail, they vanished. The classrooms, the hallways, and the bathrooms were all clean for another day. I don't think there is enough time in any of our lifetimes to thank you guys for what you do. So instead, we ask for your forgiveness for our animalistic ways, and we promise we will never make a mess at Walton again. To the coaches, thank you guys for giving us our Raider pride. Y'all have pushed us to excellence and made us proud to wear the Walton emblem. You have led us through challenges that have shaped our character and how we will approach adversity in the future. It could be easy to say we hate school after we get belted by a test, but you guys give us another reason to show up every day with enthusiasm. Finally, to the teachers. As students, we usually just thank you for the good moments and the fun times we have in your classroom, rather than the endless amounts of effort you put into actually teaching us. Unfortunately, we don't realize how much knowledge we've been given until after. We live in a bubble of heightened academics that only pops once we move on, and by then, it could feel too late to express our gratitude. So we want to thank you now. The day will come, I promise, when we truly understand how much you have given to us. Students, I know we've all been helped so much throughout our lives that it can feel impossible to thank everyone who deserves it. So just thank the people you can. Write your favorite teacher a letter, spend time with the friends you'll miss most, or hug your loved ones. Do it now so it won't weigh on you later. All right, before I go, I want to carry out a little favor for Mr. Witt. I don't know if you guys know his tradition, but he takes a selfie with us. I want to take one last selfie for him while we're all in one place. All right? Thank you guys, those turned out great. At this time, I would like to welcome our senior class secretary, Kate Fallaw, to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kate Fallaw, and I've had the pleasure of serving as your SGA class secretary this year. Today, I am proud to present the Walton Chorus senior class, who will be singing their rendition of Good Riddance by Billy Joel Armstrong and Green Day, arranged by Mike Taylor. I would now like to invite our senior class vice president, Brody Alterman, to the stage.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here on this special day. My name is Brody Alterman, your senior class vice president. We have some very special guests in attendance today. Representing the superintendent of the Cobb County School District is Catherine Melanda, chief academic officer. Representing the Cobb County Board of Education is School Board Representative John Cristodoro. From the cabinet, we are honored to have Dr. Adam Hill, assistant superintendent. Thank you all for attending today as we celebrate the graduation of the class of 2026. And now, I'd like to introduce our class treasurer, Layla Varghese. Don't forget, go Dogs.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Layla Varghese, and I've had the honor of serving as your senior class treasurer. I'm so happy to have been a part of this amazing senior class, and I'm proud to announce that the Walton class of 2026 funded the first ever senior sunrise and continued the great tradition of the senior sunset. These past 4 years have been full of great memories, and I wish everyone the best as we enter this new chapter. I would now like to invite our senior class president, Abhijit Ghosh, to the podium.
Hello, fellow graduates, faculty, and distinguished guests. I'm Abhijit Ghosh, the 2026 Senior Class President, and I'm honored to be able to speak to you all. I'd like to start off with some quiet participation from the audience. Students, think back to your first day at Walton, seeing the tall seniors in their black dresses and Hawaiian shirts. Maybe you were unlucky enough to have to ask one of them where a classroom is. Parents, I want you to think back to 4 years ago. Your kids getting stressed over multi-hour homework assignments, coming home after finals full of emotions, depending on the score, of course. Now, students, think about your lives at this point. You've got your future plans laid out, grades finalized, stresses gone. You've done it. You've made it through some of the most demanding, challenging years of your life, better and stronger at the end. You've come out with lifelong friends, a strong foundation of knowledge, and experiences you'll never be able to forget. And now, the most important part, think about everything that changed in these 4 years. Compare yourself from then to now. What's different? How has Walton shaped you? While I can't answer perfectly, I'll describe some of what I've noticed. For the parents in the crowd, especially my parents, I'm obliged to mention academics. Walton's classes have a well-deserved reputation for being stress-inducing and challenging, but not without good reason. I know that every Walton student has spent late nights studying, and those of you taking AP courses could use a whole year of extra sleep. Yet, each diploma earned today represents a culmination of real-world skills, from collaborative problem-solving to stronger writing and career-oriented skills that are guaranteed to make everything down the road easier, from college courses to your career goals. Now for the fun part. While you may not remember the Krebs cycle or the 7 strong acids, I know forever you will remember your community at Walton. It started off with 53-minute lunches, giving you all ample time to eat and socialize, or study, because it's Walton after all, and foster ties with some of your closest friends. In other periods, group projects and discussions always went off topic, ending in laughter and jokes. That became hanging out on the weekends, going to games together, and comparing schedules every January and August to see if you matched classes. I need to specifically shout out everyone in the STEM Academy. Y'all have been my closest friends, and I will never forget the memories that we have made together. Whether it be the shared trauma from mastering bios, or our many, many potlucks and picnics. And then there's the Walton beyond the hours of 8:20 to 3:30, our vibrant extracurriculars. While Walton only requires attendance for 7 hours a day, most of us have spent many more doing the things we find passion in. I've spent my fair share of 7 p.m. nights at school for Science Olympiad, and I know that other activities take even more. I've heard stories from robotics and all the sports. Nevertheless, all of us involved in extracurriculars can surely attest to the tight-knit community that they have provided, creating the strongest friendships across grades, across classes, and through common skills and interests. These are the friendships that can keep us coming back to visit, reminding us of the memories that we created through camaraderie and a shared dedication. We must not forget about how our mentors in these activities were once Walton students as well. And it's important that we continue to help our younger friends as they navigate their journey through high school. As we leave to go off on our own paths, remember to look back and appreciate at how much you've accomplished and how much you've grown. Remember the communities you've been a part of. Remember the struggles you've overcame, because that's what makes us Raiders. When it got hard, we didn't give up. When it got stressful, we found ways to have fun. And when we got the opportunities, we made the most of them. Keep that attitude up, and life will go better than you could possibly imagine. Hence, I wish each and every one of you a happy, prosperous, and successful life. And thank you for being an esteemed Walton Raider. Congratulations. Now, it is my honor to invite to the podium our principal, Dr. Stephanie Santoro. Please join me in welcoming her with a round of applause as we show our appreciation for all she does to make Walton such an exceptional place.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Stephanie Santoro, and on behalf of the Walton administration, I would like to welcome you to the graduation for the class of 2026. First, I would like to thank our superintendent, district leadership, and school board. In Cobb County, our leadership goes out of their way to make sure that Cobb is the best place to teach, lead, and learn. I want to thank all of the incredible teachers, administrators, and staff of Walton High School. To put it simply, our faculty is the best in the business. Every day they come to Walton to pour into every student. They not only teach our students learning standards, they laugh with their students, they cry with their students, and they push their students to always do more. It is not an easy job. Our teachers masterfully combine the ability to push our students, hold them accountable, and love them through it all. In a nutshell, that is the art of teaching. And our teachers are the best in the business. Speaking of business, I'm here to give the class of 2026 a little bit of investment advice. Trust me, my husband will tell you with my spending habits, I have no business giving any kind of financial advice. That being said, I'm going to give you some investment advice. I want to talk about another investment strategy that is guaranteed to give you the highest return on your investment. In the fall of 2002, I was hired to be the head volleyball coach and math teacher at Walton. I would have never thought my journey would have led me to where I am today as your principal. So how did I get here? People. People invested in me. One of those people sitting on the stage to my right, Dr. Catherine Melanda, is one who invested in me. A little bit about Dr. Melanda. She is a Walton graduate who spent 22 years of her 30-year educational career at Walton as a coach, a math teacher, assistant principal, and principal. For the last 4 years, she has been the chief academic officer for the Cobb County School District. She's retiring this year, which means her first high school graduation and her last high school graduation will be a Walton graduation. Just goes to show, once a Raider, always a Raider. When I started my journey at Walton, Dr. Melanda was my mentor. I observed her classes in order to become a better calculus teacher. Later, when she became the principal, she hired me to be an assistant principal. Then she was my leadership mentor. For 4 years, I worked under her leadership and began to grow my own leadership style. Most importantly, through the last 24 years, she has been more than a colleague and a mentor. She has been a trusted friend who has shared my highs and celebrated my highs and shared my lows. So why do I share this with you? I am where I am because people invested in me. You are where you are because people have invested in you. You are headed to a promising future, and it's all because of those who have supported you along the way. You've been fortunate to have teachers, coaches, youth group leaders, mentors, trusted adults, neighbors, friends, and family members who have dropped you off, picked you up, washed your uniforms, checked your homework, studied spelling and vocabulary with you, pushed you, and challenged you. These same people dried your tears, laughed with you, laughed at you, celebrated your victories, birthdays, and successes. Now it's your turn. As you head off into the future, the most important investment you can make is in people. The time to pour into others is a very smart investment. Investing in others is one of the highest return decisions you can make because it multiplies value far beyond what any single person can do alone. When you share time, mentorship, resources, or belief, you help someone accelerate their growth, avoid avoidable mistakes, and unlock opportunities they may not yet see. That growth compounds. People who are invested in tend to pay it forward, strengthening teams, communities, and cultures with trust, resilience, and innovation. The impact shows up in better ideas, bolder leadership, and deeper human connection. Outcomes will endure longer than any quick win. In the long run, investing in others doesn't just change their trajectory. It transforms yours and elevates what's possible for everyone involved. This year, thanks to the investment of the parents, teachers, staff, and the students of the class of 2026, all 631 of you have achieved great things and left a lasting impact on Walton High School. Your graduating class has 24 National Merit semifinalists and 9 Georgia Scholars. 606 of you are planning to attend college, with 5 headed off to Ivy League schools. Your college selections include 4 countries, 30 states, and the District of Columbia. Several members of the class of 2026 will be joining our military. Please stand when I call your name. 2 of our graduates have received appointments to military academies. Alex Mason is attending the Merchant Marine Academy. Mallory Old is attending the Air Force Academy. Five other members of the class of 2026 will also serve our country by enlisting in our military branches. Connor Almeida will be joining the U.S. Navy. Yirin Fan, Brian Perez, and Sule Savadogo are joining the U.S. Marine Corps. Amani Ngandu will be serving in the U.S. Army Reserves. In addition, Summer Anderson and Ellie Cristodoro have joined the Air National Guard, and Liam Dickerson received an Army ROTC scholarship to the University of Utah. Thank you in advance for your service to our country. $247 of our graduates are crossing the stage with a GPA of 4.0 and higher. 515 are eligible to earn Hope Scholarship, which is 82% of the graduating class. Not counting Hope Scholarship, the class of 2026 was offered over $21,600,000 of scholarship money. Just as important, the service and leadership accomplishments of the class of 2026 are astounding. The class has accumulated over 58,000 service hours, and 294 seniors earned 180 or more service hours, as denoted by the red, white, and blue service cords. We have 150 graduates who earned the Fine Arts Diploma seal. In October, our orchestras represented Walton at the Kennesaw State Orchestra Invitational, and Chamber Orchestra performed at the State Music Conference in January. Our marching band participated in the London New Year's Day Parade and represented the United States abroad. Our chorus shared their voices and talents in New York City, and then shared their talents at home by singing at the Hawks and Braves games. In the fine arts, Minjun Lee won the GMEA composition contest and is on his way to becoming a composer as a profession. Caitlin Anderson had artwork accepted into the Dogwood Festival and All-State Art Symposium. Caitlin will be attending the Rhode Island School of Design, the top art school in the country. Graduates in the class of 2026 represented our school in many academic extracurriculars too. Our Latin scholars achieved 3 finishes at Yale and Harvard-Kurtaman, continuing our tradition of success at Ivy League tournaments in the advanced level. Our varsity Latin League team placed 4th out of 156 teams nationwide during the regular season. Walton Science Olympiad claimed their 2nd consecutive state title and earned an invitation to the 2026 National Science Olympiad Tournament at the University of Southern California. These students competed up until yesterday and returned late last night to be here for graduation. Walton's mock trial team advanced to the Georgia State Championship for the 2nd year in a row and placed 6th, competing against 180 teams from across the state. The team was led by an incredible group of seniors: Zena Shaw, Ragi Rajan, Catherine Pitts, Sarah Steinhaus, Hayden Weaver, and Jonathan Driggers. DECA senior Zoe Wang earned a state title in the Business Service Marketing Competition and placed in the top 10 internationally in the Marketing Cluster exam. We also celebrated senior Sean Dalton's perfect SAT score as Walton's star student. On the athletic fields and courts, this class continued the tradition of excellence. The class of 2026 has contributed to 8 state championship titles over your 4 years. This year, our Raiders won 2 state titles, one in girls tennis and one in volleyball. We also had 2 individual wrestlers claim state titles, including senior Jake Rehume. Other teams had excellent showings in state competitions. Both girls and boys soccer were state runner-up. Gymnastics, wrestling, and girls track and field finished 3rd in the state, while boys and girls lacrosse made the state semifinals. Girls cross country finished 4th, and boys cross country was 9th. Senior Sam Gitto broke a 47-year-old school record in the 300-meter hurdles this year. In all, Raider athletics continued to dominate. The Raiders won 8 area or region championships. 37 of the senior athletes have been awarded athletic scholarships to compete in their sports at the next level. This includes 3 SEC cheerleaders. Finally, this year's athletics performance earned us a first-place finish in the Georgia Directors Cup for girls sports and recognized Walton as the state runner-up for the top athletic program in the state. Again, the accomplishments of this graduating class are amazing, and we are so very proud of you. Among the standouts in the class of 2026 are 2 outstanding students who have earned special recognition for their exceptional academic achievements. It is an honor to present the salutatorian and valedictorian for the class of 2026. This year's salutatorian is Jerry Zhu. Jerry has a cumulative weighted GPA of 4.803. Jerry plans to attend Princeton in the fall and plans to major in economics or the classics. Congratulations, Jerry. This year's valedictorian is Dev Patel. With a cumulative weighted GPA of 4.808, Dev will be attending Georgia Tech in the fall and plans to major in computer science. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you for your investment in Walton High School. Continue to invest wisely in those around you. Remember, once a Raider, always a Raider. And now I'm going to let Dev take over the show.
Thank you, Dr. Santora. Parents, families, faculty, and my fellow graduates. Again, I'm Dev Patel, and I'm very honored to be your class of 2026 valedictorian. As I reflect on our time in high school, so many monumental events come to mind. For starters, the Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship, and Steph Curry won his first Finals MVP award, which was crucial to his legacy as the greatest point guard of all time. Then came the rise of AI, with ChatGPT being used for everything from schoolwork to valedictorian speeches. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, the low taper fade meme became absolutely massive. On a more serious note, while much of the world seemed to become more and more divided, our class grew closer together through the experiences that we shared. Like watching the teachers somehow hit a game-winning buzzer beater at the pep rally. Or making the freezing trek from the parking lot to school every winter morning. Or not having cell service and having to find a different VPN that worked every other week. Or being incorrectly flagged by Turnitin for AI cheating when we didn't even use AI. Or standing for the entire soccer state championship games because no one could sit still. And finally, there's this thing I've heard of called senior skip days. Collectively, these experiences have helped us to collaborate, create friendships, and build a sense of community. And of course, none of that community would have been possible without all the people who have supported us to date, and especially throughout these last 4 years. So I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude to all of them. First, none of us would be here without the contributions of Walton's teachers, administrators, counselors, and staff. Thank you. Thank you for challenging us academically, keeping us safe in this ever-changing world, supporting us personally, and somehow doing all the behind-the-scenes work needed to seamlessly run a school of over 2,500 students. You've all helped shape us into the students and individuals we are today, and shout out to Mr. Hubbard for being the GOAT. And on a more personal note, there are a few people I'd especially like to thank. Thank you to my grandparents for being amazing role models for me, teaching me what the true meaning of sacrifice is and how to treat others with empathy. I know that 3 of my grandparents are proudly looking down at me from heaven, and thank you to my grandpa from England, who has actually joined us here to celebrate this moment. And also thank you to my aunt and uncle from Rhode Island, who have also come to support me. Thank you to my friends, whether for sharing notes to help me study for a bio test, for running Fortnite squads late at night, for our daily LA Fitness basketball runs, or for donating your money to me through fantasy football each and every year. And last but not least, thank you to my amazing mom and dad. Without your unconditional love and support throughout my high school journey and life, I wouldn't have even been able to do my own laundry or cook breakfast, let alone graduate from Walton. You two are the kindest and most compassionate people I know, and the example you've set for me is something I'll always try to emulate. And to my mom, thank you for always being there for me when I needed it and being the heart of our family. You're the real MVP. I've learned a lot from my parents over the years, but one of the most important principles I've learned is that of dharma. In Sanskrit, dharma means to do what's right without focusing on the fruits of your actions. This is the principle they've lived by regardless of any hardships, and it's something I hope to carry forward with me into the future. Today's a day for celebrating what we've accomplished over the last 4 years, but tomorrow marks a new chapter in all of our lives. As we head into this new chapter, I don't think any of us needs to pretend that we have everything figured out and have a perfect plan for our future. But I do think it's worth remembering a few simple things as we begin this new journey. First, to treat everyone with the same kindness and empathy that so many of you have shown here at Walton, even when life gets stressful or competitive. Second, to continue to show your appreciation for those who support you along the way. And finally, to not take everything too seriously and remember to have fun. Believe it or not, senioritis may have actually prepared us for real life better than we expected it to. So even though we're all going our separate ways, I hope we all remember the moments that brought us together and the people who helped us get here. Thank you, congratulations to the class of 2026, and go Raiders! At this time, I would like to invite Mr. John Cristodoro from the Cobb County Board of Education to the podium for the certification of graduates.
All right, so the good news is we are almost there. So class of 2026, there's been a lot of phenomenal advice given out, but I want to focus on reminding you of something, and that is you are in a room filled with people that love you and that are so proud of you. So let's take a moment to give them a round of applause. And speaking of those people inside of a room that are proud of people, I do have a little personal thing. I'm extremely proud and love you very much, Eliana Cristodoro. You've done an amazing job. So, over 4,000 days ago, many of you started this journey by walking into school for the very first time. And tonight, or this afternoon, you're going to walk across this stage prepared for whatever comes next. But before you do, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about something called influence. And I'm not referring to likes or shares or followers. I'm referring to true, meaningful impact. So recently, I had the opportunity to hear a speaker by the name of Tommy Spalding speak, and he spoke about influence, and he used a visual that really set close to my heart. He said, we have the opportunity to influence about 2.7 people every single day. Now, that's not the ones that you walk by in a hallway or you scroll past online, but that's individuals that you come in contact with in a meaningful way. So if we live on average of 77 years, you multiply that 2.7 times those years, and we have the opportunity to influence 88,000 people over a lifetime. Now, that's a hard number to grasp. So let's say you're in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and you're standing on the Falcon. And all of those people, all 88,000 people are in those stands surrounding you. And your name is called. Will they clap? Will they boo? Or worse yet, will they make no sound at all? My challenge to you today, as you leave here, is very simple. Make those moments of influence count. Make people feel valued. Leave situations better than you found them. And when your name is eventually called, let your legacy be one that made a positive difference in those people's lives. And with that, in the words of Coach Bruner, it is now time to ball down and ball out. As a duly elected member of the Cobb County Board of Education, I hereby certify that the graduating seniors of Walton High School have met graduation requirements established by the State Board of Education and the Cobb County School District and are therefore entitled to all rights and privileges granted upon completion of those requirements. Dr. Santoro, you may begin the presentation of diplomas.
Evan Jameson Cambies, with honor. Abhijit Ghosh, STEM Academy, with honor. Brody Harrison Alterman, with honor. Layla Varghese, with honor. Catherine Margaret Falah, with honor. Jerry Tianre Shu, STEM Academy, with honor. Dev Hitan Patel, STEM Academy, with honor. Bailey Paul Gaunt Hebert, with honor. Nathan Nardos Abnett, with honor. Tate Bowman Adams, with honor. Oluwatosin Oluwasegun Jonathan Adejumo, with honor. Samara Fatima Ahmed, with honor. Alexis Ayn An. Sharia Avinash Ahuja. Varun Akula, STEM Academy, with honor. Asim Shala Alexander. Fatima Frida Ali, with honor. Shrihan Alad, with honor. Julia Ann Allison, International Spanish Academy with honor. Arlie Alexis Allman with honor. Connor Maximus Almeida. Genevieve Mercer Almond with honor. Caitlin Jewel Anderson with honor. Summer Rose Anderson with honor. Christian Jacory Andrews. Pranav Areli with honor. Sophia Arenas with honor. Jacob Dennis Armstrong with honor. Ananya Vaez Arvind with honor. Ryan Michael Asiello with honor. Kian Daniel Attar with honor. Moyasola Jubilee Babalola with honor. Catherine Josephine Babb with honor. Abisha Amin Badruddin, International Spanish Academy with honor. William Allen Bagley with honor. Garrett Boyd Bailey II. Zachary Thomas Henry Bailey. Carson Michael Baker with honor. Dane Edward Baker. Ethan James Baker with honor. Tyler Joseph Balahowski with honor. Bogdan Alexandru Balanoyi, STEM Academy with honor. Aliza Bandukwala with honor. Mark Zoltan Baranyai. Luke Andrew Barabo with honor. Owen Trenter Barnes with honor. Mallory Mabel Beaver. Catherine Michelle Bedwell with honor. Sean Joseph Belenke with honor. Aaron Melissa Belknap with honor. Wade Myers Benich with honor. Catherine Olivia Benton with honor. Julia Anna Berbecca. Carter Andrew Berger. Jackson Alexander Berger, STEM Academy with honor. Jonathan Thomas Berman. Samuel Wyatt Baselling. Parker Bryce Bethune. Kahisha Kareem Bamani. Vidya Bhatnagar. Ayushman Bhattacharya, STEM Academy with honor. Shreya Ratnakar Bide. Rehan Bhutana with honor. Nicholas Joseph Bisek. August Joachim Blank. Samantha Emily Blitzer. Mahimashree Boji. Nicole Paulina Bonilla with honor. Adler Abraham Bryce Bowen with honor. Cooper McGurk Bowles with honor. Shamar Akuri Boyd. Savannah Marie Bradigan with honor. Mason Timothy Brammer. Elizabeth Neelan Brennan with honor. Lana Britannia de Paula Abashirley Camargo with honor. Grace Helen Brinkerhoff, International Spanish Academy with honor. Kylie Grace Britton with honor. Ezra Aiden Brooks with honor. George Sylvie Brown. Grayson Stone Brown with honor. Lainey Adelaide Brown with honor. Simon Monroe Brown with honor. Taylor Marie Brown with honor. Chaitin Bucci with honor. Gavin William Bursey with honor. Emily Claire Butts, with honor. Joanna Junan Kai, with honor. Donovan James Calabrese, with honor. Avery Ann Calvert, with honor. Brian Sow, with honor. Colleen Allison Chow, with honor. Liam Truman Carey. Walker Dylan Carper, with honor. Sophia Bella Carpio, with honor. Jude Joseph Cascone, with honor. Adrian Diza Kate, with honor. Anika Luke Kate, with honor. Maya Isabella Caudil Merida, with honor. Anna Isabel Sirkea Perman, with honor. Abraham George Chakiet, with honor. Alicia Chada, STEM Academy, with honor. Redima Reddy Chala, with honor. Claire Chang, with honor. Joshua Quinn Chapman, with honor. Mishka Charania. Allison Sarah Chastain, International Spanish Academy, with honor. Shay Nicole Chatham, with honor.
Dana Camila Chavarro Garcia, with honor. Andrea Sofia Chavez. Jason Chen, with honor. Tony Chen, with honor. Weston Sage Chen, with honor. Vladislav Chernomoritz. Jack Edwin Robert Childress, with honor. Li Yen Chow, with honor. Claire Elizabeth Sipperly, with honor. Anderson Walter Allen Clark, with honor. Santiago Clemente, STEM Academy, with honor. Ella Grace Cobb, with honor. Caleb Ryan Cohen, with honor. Lauren Pearl Cohn, STEM Academy, with honor. Brian Lavelle Coleman, Jr. Sarah Nicole Coleman. Will Lee Conant. Thomas Edward Conger II. Alexander Michael Cook. Michael Alexander Coombs. Abigail Newton Kuhn, with honor. Ella Mae Cooper, with honor. Hannah Lacey Cooper, with honor. Benjamin Anthony Costello. Jackson Lewis Covington, with honor. Catherine Wright Covington, with honor. Connor Lewis Cox, with honor. Chandler John Cozart, with honor. Kai Will Crawford, with honor. John Pavel Creasy, with honor. Eliana Danielle Cristodoro, with honor. Noah James Crowder White, with honor. Sina Kudapa, with honor. Grady Walker Culhane. Chloe Ann Curran, with honor. Trinita Partana Cyril Anthony Franklin. Jeffrey John Sarnecki, Jr. Sean Joseph Dalton, STEM Academy, with honor. Abigail Tui Nak Dow, with honor. Megan Sarah Dasuki, with honor. Blaine Lucas Davies, with honor.
Olivia Catherine Davis, with honor.
James Merlin DiMartini, Jr. Madeline Elizabeth Deek, with honor. John Paul Lorne Decker. Nicole Moet Delgado, with honor. Alex Derenstein, with honor. Taylor Margaret Devon. Yarny Demoterin, with honor. Anya Gold Deer, with honor. Helena Lorenco Pereira Jujes de Pache. Lillian Julian Dickerson with honor. Layla Mae Durking with honor. Shaylee Bavzar Dodia with honor. Bridget Lindley Doyle. Jonathan Henry Driggers with honor. Kayla Elizabeth Duffy, International Spanish Academy with honor. Abdul Rahman Eid. Alin Edjwa with honor. Alexis Nicole Edler with honor. Lucky J. Iola Bastic. Wael El Chaim. Thomas Henry Ellison with honor. Jacob Michael Ellsworth. Zachary John Ellsworth with honor. Nikhil Kumar Inetti with honor. Catherine Elise Intrikin with honor. Ryan Sky Erickson with honor. Avery Lane Esser. Kate Doyle Estabrooks. Lindley Abigail Estrada Dewar, International Spanish Academy with honor. Marlon Augustin Basong Eta. Molly Ann Evans with honor. Evan Alexander Faber. Nolan Jacob Farner with honor. Adrian Ayalani Fileli with honor. Yirin Fan. Neil Chandler Manoy Phoenix with honor. Kirsten Naomi Fenner.
Emma Alexandra Fitzgerald, STEM Academy with honor. Emma Catherine Flack with honor. Coleman James Fleury. Sophia Camila Flores Colmenares with honor. Maria Fernanda Flores Pinzon with honor. Andrew Christopher Frey with honor. Emerson Claire Frost, International Spanish Academy with honor. Deanna Marie Folahan with honor. Joshua Noble Fulp. Layla Zuri Gaines with honor. Elizabeth Ann Gallo with honor. Sean Patrick Gallagher with honor. Ambalshri Ganapathy with honor. Krish Ganguly with honor. James Kirk Garner. Sydney Elise Garner with honor. Ezra Nathaniel Garris with honor. Aubrey Joy Gatewood with honor. Elizabeth Mack Gatza, International Spanish Academy with honor. Tanashri Sachin Gavde, STEM Academy with honor. Samuel Irvin Gito with honor. Allison Grace Gibson with honor. Ansley Jane Gilk with honor. Zach Nathan Globerman with honor. Brady Jacob Gluckler with honor. Claire Peterson Gluckler with honor. Braden Pierce Goldberg with honor. Spencer Jacob Goldstein. Ashley Gabriela Gomez. Aditi Vital Gopalakrishnan with honor. Ansley Taylor Gorton. Charles Douglas Gott with honor. Brooke Henson Gold with honor. Ellery Page Grant with honor. Olivia Claire Grasso with honor. Lila Eve Graves with honor. Mary Catherine Green, International Spanish Academy with honor. Madison Rose Grella. Brantley Thomas Grooms with honor. Alfredo Enrique Guadarrama Capriles with honor. Bryant Wayne Gunnels with honor. Hallie Hedrick Guy with honor. Daniel Jaden Hacker. Ramesh Haidari with honor. Todd Patrick Haley. Sophie Grace Handler with honor. Nok Kyujo Hang with honor. Adeline Ruby Hardage with honor. Reagan Danielle Harris with honor. Taylor Hollis Hart with honor. Jalen Amir Hawkins Washington. Alexandra Lee Hayden. Lauren Yvonne Hayward with honor. Sahil Sunil Hazari with honor. Caden William Hendry. Will Riley Henniger. Corbin Jackson Henry with honor. Evan Amari Herrera with honor. Courtney Lee Hickson with honor. Cameron Louisa Hilker, International Spanish Academy with honor. Jacob Wilson Hill. Carter Yost Hodges with honor. Brooklyn Marie Hoff with honor. Margaret Ann Holloway with honor. Ian McConna Hope with honor. Mason Christopher Howell. Lila Kendall Hoy with honor. Samantha Hueyo Shu with honor. Elsa Ingrid Hewitt with honor. Graham Smith Huff with honor. Xian Wong with honor. Michael Patrick Hines with honor. Ivana Asosa Idemudia. Thomas Henry Iglar with honor. Charlotte Page Ingvaldson, International Spanish Academy with honor. William Edwin Isaacson with honor. Nina Itzko with honor. Grant Lloyd Jackson with honor. Cole Douglas Jameson with honor. Ashley Neri Jang with honor. John Sterling Jansen with honor. Luke William Jarrett. Sean Vikas Jasrodia with honor. Magnus Vitson Jenkins.
Griffin George Patrick Johnson with honor. Lillian Tyler Johnson with honor. Yasmin Angela Jones with honor. Haley Dawn Kaiser. Arish Kaja with honor. Chloe Kamensky with honor. Isha Hina Consagra with honor. Monterey Sarah Kaufman with honor. James Manhai Keel with honor. Riley Michelle Kegwin, International Spanish Academy with honor. Cameron Samantha Keller. Martha Elizabeth Kempton with honor. Lauren Augusta Kent with honor. Himanshi Kakaria with honor. Jawad Ali Khalil. Walker Thomas Killamet with honor. Nathan Ju Hyung Kim with honor. Nathaniel Hyun Kim with honor. Phoebe Wambui Kimani. Tyga Joseph Kimmick with honor. Victor Frislev Kiergaard Jensen with honor. Jack William Clem. Joaquin Emilio Koger. Jessica Chuyun Kong, International Spanish Academy with honor. Arjun Anand Krishnan. Devin Miles Crone. Ashritha Kudamula with honor. Catherine Mary Coomer. Sabrina Tamar Kurtz with honor. Elise Ying Kwok. Yeben Kwan with honor. Jacqueline Jae-hee Kwon with honor. Chloe Cecilia Labarth with honor. Matthew William Ladner. Jacob Ryan Lamberson with honor. Alexandra Claire Lambert with honor. Hadley Nicole Lane. Coleman Presley Lantrip with honor. Jude Maximus Lascala. Audrey Kate Latham with honor. Noah Scott LaValle with honor. Sarah Law with honor. Thi Thuy Duan Lee with honor. Anna Lee. Jungwoo Lee with honor. Minjin Lee with honor. Olivia Sun Lee. Scott Sungmin Lee with honor. Vivian Baby Leet with honor. William John Lehman with honor. Jacob Ryland Lembeck with honor. Brooke Ansley Leslie with honor. Maxim Kwok An Lee Tu with honor. Charles James Licata III with honor. Ethan Zachary Lowe with honor. Yuanbao Francis Lopez with honor. Broderick Samuel Lott with honor. Mateo Pedro Losada with honor. Michaela Esther Losada with honor. Thomas Joseph Lucas. Samantha Ann Lukenbill. Liel Lugasi. Andrew Paul Lynch Jr. with honor. Maddox Lewis Lyon with honor. Abigail Reese Lyons with honor. Carter Michael Macon with honor. Haley Ann Madsen with honor. Shankar Malapati with honor. Mackenzie Michaela Malott with honor. Aditya Venkata Manabala with honor. Ashling Nina Manjirasina. Anna Grace Marston. Abigail Martin Hoster with honor. Victoria Eliana Cato Masele with honor. Alexander Samuel Mason with honor. Isaac Frank Masters with honor. Ava Catherine Matthews with honor. Lillian Camper Matthews with honor. Maximilian Mazzacarati with honor. Madeline McCary with honor. Isabel Ariana McCauley with honor. Matthew John McGinnis with honor. Colin Robert McKeon.
Max Alexander McRaney with honor. Arinjay Abhijit Mehrotra with honor. Catherine Xiao Yao Meng with honor. Trenton Robert Masana with honor. Jared Elwood Meyer. Malia Itzel Middleton with honor. Jackson Graham Miller with honor. Manu Kiran Mucharla with honor. Aidan Reese Mong, STEM Academy with honor. Lorenzo Andres Montesinos with honor. Sam Maradi. John Alexander Morrison. Sterling Murphy Morris with honor. Cameron Ali Mortazavi. John Michael Muchinecott, Jr. Chase Alan Mulhauser, with honor. Sophia Noel Mueller, with honor. Kevin Mukalan, with honor. Reagan Elizabeth Mulberry, with honor. Declan Thomas Muldoon, with honor. Jake Pruitt Mundy, with honor. Andrea Maria Munoz Villarreal, with honor. Muneen Muondo. Ashrit Chowdhury Mupala, with honor. Dylan Alexis Muzakia, with honor. Shalon Karima Mwinda. Jonah Paul Myler, with honor. Advait Rupesh Nagatil. Kanami Nakagawa. Misha Tashar Naratam, with honor. Isabella Grace Navratil, with honor. Christopher William Neal, with honor. Matthew James Nelson, with honor. Tyler Patrick Nelson. Christian Enriquez Neves, with honor. Amani Lunga Joel Gandu. Fan Nat Min Nguyen, with honor. Sophia Emerald Nguyen, with honor. Xuan Mi Lin Nguyen, with honor. Mackenzie Lee Nicolau. Alvin Nagbo. Nicole Ariana Norbehesht, with honor. Benjamin William Norman, International Spanish Academy, with honor. Marizel Nothnahal. Preston James Novoselsky. Mathayo Okello Martin Odiambo. Madeline Rose O'Grabish, with honor. Hey June O, STEM Academy, with honor. Mallory Lynn Old, with honor. Oluwatafarati Onekoyi, with honor. David Osario de Almeida Rueda. Brady Edward Owens, with honor. Shrisai Prashrith Pala, with honor. John Addison Baxter Palmer III, with honor. Olivia Costa Santos Pap, with honor. Brody Hayo Sump Park, with honor. Philip Lee Park, with honor. Charles Earl Pascoe, with honor. Anya Mitesh Patel, with honor. Ayan Nilesh Patel, with honor. Om Keaton Patel, with honor. Shivam Keaton Patel. Rylan Patrick Patton. Danya Reddy Patur, with honor. Ayush Shrikant Pawar, STEM Academy, with honor. Allison Jane Pekkanen, with honor. Nicholas Santos Pelazzari, with honor. Brian Joel Perez. David Carson Perez, with honor. James Lauren Peterson, with honor. Grace Elizabeth Petrov, with honor.
Christian Yordanov Pekov. Emily Knock Fawn, with honor. Natalie Quinn Fawn, with honor. Christina Amy Phillip, with honor. Santiago Pineda Serrano. Andrew William Pinsky, with honor. Paul Piros, with honor. Blake William Pittman, with honor. Catherine Laura Pitts. Shalene Pocarel. Sarah Joyce Pulaski with honor. George Maynard Poole with honor. Ella Grace Powell with honor. Sarvesh Sudharshan Prabhu with honor. Hall Everett Pruitt with honor. Elizabeth Marie Pruitt with honor. Amber Logan Primack with honor. Adrian Andres Polito with honor. Mary Reese Purves. Fernando Enrique Roddy, International Spanish Academy with honor. Shinjan Maruk Rafiq, STEM Academy with honor. Jeremiah Moses Raj, STEM Academy with honor. Mriunain Rajan with honor. Ujay Raju. Shanti Makija Ramprasad with honor. Ria Veldur Rao with honor. Ishal Rashid with honor. Catherine Grace Reeves. Gabriela Estefania Reblando with honor. Emmy Viola Rieger with honor. Jake Karoka Rayon with honor. Knoxville Alexander Richard with honor. Andrew Conley Reese with honor. Caitlin Alexa Rivera Hernandez. Rima Sanjana Robertson with honor. Catherine Spencer Rogers with honor. William Gerard Rudell with honor. Marion Julie Russell. Julia Marin Rutledge with honor. Luna Sabah with honor. Jacob Mej Sabura with honor. Sophia Marie Sabura with honor. Eliza Rosette Safi with honor. Unikrishnan Sajan. Arjun Bhavin Sangavi with honor. Gabriela Dorado Santucci with honor. Mira Saraswat with honor. Kaylee Lynn Sardinas with honor. Corbin Cronin Sirach, STEM Academy with honor. Caroline Morgan Sasser. Tomoki Sato with honor. Sule Savadogo. Aditya Sani with honor. Amin Hussein Syed with honor. Ahmad Yaqub Sabedi. Kirk Jacob Scalfaro with honor. Nicholas Jacob Shug with honor. Brooklyn Lee Scott. Simone Diane Searles with honor. Aubrey Olin C., STEM Academy with honor. Maximus Condon Cipher. Parker Ryan Severson with honor.
Matthew G. Chen Shaw with honor. Rohan Nirmal Shah with honor. Zena Tajesh Shah with honor. Kylie Lynn Shea. Belle Sheffrin with honor. Sarah Ann Sherwood with honor. Selah Bailey Shockey with honor. Jeremy Shu with honor. Guilherme Silva Costa. Ana Luisa Carvalho Silva. Andrew Sim with honor. Matthew Lee Samitzes. Kali Augusta Samoes Vieira with honor. Aiden Raymond Simons with honor. Jennifer Ann Simons with honor. Armand Ramiro Singh. Arwin Singh with honor. Nithin Siva with honor. Carl Lucas Gustav Vaclav Skold. Grace Theanos Scordelis with honor. Eli Samuel Slomovitz with honor. Evan Cooper Smith. Kyler Clark Smith with honor. Morgan Rose Salette. Daniel J. Summers with honor. Gia Marie Naomi Spence. Thierry Samuel Isaiah Spence. Derek Jacob Spivak with honor. Ashwini Srihari with honor. Norwood Randolph Starnes with honor. Isabella Rose Stein, International Spanish Academy with honor. Morgan Lee Christine Steinberg, International Spanish Academy with honor. Sarah Amelia Steinhaus with honor. Alexander Josiah Strickland with honor. Sam Norman Strickland with honor. Daniel James Strickland. Aiden Richard Streminger. Carson Crawford Stuckey with honor. Dana McNeil Suber. Mackenzie Ava Sullivan. Roan Thomas Sullivan. Abigail Lindsay Sunderland with honor. Chakastri Shana Suryaputra. Tyler James Swan with honor. Mary Frances Swearinga with honor. Sophia Yuxing Chow with honor. Alistair Nicholas Tay with honor. Maddox Douglas Taylor with honor. Emily Keatley Chu. Harper Coppage Tilley with honor. Madeline Walker Tilley with honor. Anika Rahul Tate. Ramrishri Thumailanambi with honor. Vishruthi Thiagarajan with honor. Aryan Thobani. Faith Grace Abigail Thomas. Ansley Jaden Thompson. Hollis Kimball Thompson with honor. Noriega Henry Thompson. Nicholas John Thorner with honor. Morgan Victoria Timpson. Avery Elizabeth Todd with honor. Zion Mackay Tolson. Jinglen Tong with honor. Noah Daniel Trainer. Jaden Rico Say. Catherine Hanwen Sweet. Elizabeth Catherine Tucker. Max Jameson Tucker with honor.
Halston Dallas Turner with honor. William Jackson Turner with honor. Samantha Bafadari. Oscar Enrique Valero Torrealba with honor. Ethan Bajoy Varghese with honor. Grant Robert Varon. Reese Samuel Varon. Jose Eduardo Vasquez Hatches. Jafet Beasy Jr. Nareshwar Venkatesa Perumal with honor. Sana Verma with honor. Vibha Vijay with honor. Cooper Thomas Virant with honor. Nihal Viswanathan with honor. Philip Vukasanovic with honor. Jonathan Myers Waddell. Davis Matthias Wagner. Oliver Bia Wagner. Elizabeth May Waldron with honor. Edison Wong with honor. Zoe Faye Wong with honor. Mela Alyssa Warmus with honor. Hayden Zwa Weaver with honor. Christopher Mackay Weber. Olivia Brooke Weber with honor. William Lucas Wheeler with honor. Elizabeth Grace White. Catherine Elise White, International Spanish Academy with honor. William McClellan White with honor. Briantone Vittoria Whiteley with honor. Lila Kate Wickham with honor. Logan Thomas Wicks with honor. Mason William Wicks with honor. Inaya Maylene Wilkins with honor. Carter Joseph Wilkinson with honor. Davis Kane Wilkinson with honor. Ava Madison Williams with honor. Matthew Douglas Wilson with honor. Sophia Denise Wolf. Alina Suki Wolftam with honor. Mason Christopher Womack. Maddox William Wolfen. Annalie Elizabeth Wright with honor. Kalin Madison Wright. Tianren Claire Shu with honor. Anna Yang with honor. Kay Natasha Lim Yata. Siddharth Yamela. Grayson Hayes Young. Kino Orlando Young II. Laura Usel with honor. Sebastian Zavadsky. Grace Lakonen Zaluka with honor. Andrew Jung with honor. Max Mingjiao Zhu. Xunsha Zhu with honor. Nyasha Jacob Zinyongo. John Aiden Ziolo with honor. Nikita Zubenko with honor. Layla May Zufari, International Spanish Academy with honor. John Matthew Zupo.
Class of 2026, our days at Walton have come to an end. Let this day mark the celebration of our success, the acknowledgement of our hard work, and the promise of a bright future ahead. The turning of the tassels signifies a beginning of the new stage in our lives. Graduates, please join me in turning our tassels from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2026.